All right, Joey, did you were saying you were watching this insane walk off in the Guardians Yankees game?
Yep, it was like the announcer was talking about Big Christmas. The fucking because his last name was Noel. I didn't even realize who this guy was, but he absolutely whipped. Do you see him whip the bat like towards the uh on the walk off, like when he bat flipped?
Who? The guy who hit the
Like the,
winner?
the the Guardians guy. Did you see the clip?
That guy's name's David Fry.
No, the guy that tied it. I was
Oh,
talking
I'm
about.
sorry, dude. Sorry, Noel. No, I didn't see the video. Sorry. Yes, of course. It tied it in the ninth, and then they walked off in the 10th.
And
Of
they
course,
walked
bro.
off the next inning. I haven't seen that clip yet. I'm trying to find it right now, actually, on my phone.
Okay, fair
Uh,
enough. But
I wanted to see it, but yeah,
well,
the baseball playoffs have actually been nuts.
dude, they've been crazy. They've been entertaining. I mean, thank God the Guardians got one on the Yankees because in baseball, 3-0 comebacks have only ever happened. It's only ever happened once with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So glad the Guardians got one, and then I mean the Dodgers are looking like they're probably going to go up 3-1 on the Mets. Otani with another bomb today. Joey, you're really not a fan, hey?
Yeah, I fucking hate Otani, man. What the fuck is up with that's such a joke. They had like on the broadcast it was like Otani up in 3 at bats. Like fuck off. Like I don't care about Otani like
I don't
you know
know,
what I
dude. They're
mean?
trying to market their stars. Like, I don't mind it.
I know, but I just feel like they they're over marketing one guy when
Fair enough.
fucking I don't know, like Jose Ramirez on Cleveland is nasty and he doesn't get
Yeah,
any nearly as much media attention as even like some Yankees players do. I saw a couple like jokes people were making about it.
fair
Uh
enough.
there's like always having a like I don't know, maybe it's just like um over marketing one guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, do you think we end up with a Yankees Dodgers final?
Probably. Like
Who do you got in that?
realistically that's probably the if I'd cheer for the Yankees, but I fucking hate both teams.
Dude, I would way rather the Dodgers win than the fucking Yankees. I will cheer like
No.
crazy for the Dodgers.
I'd rather I don't like I said, bro. I want Otani to be never win a championship. That'd be so funny. I think. I
Fair
do think
enough.
it would just be so hilarious if he never won. Like I know I'm a hater, but um, if he never won a chip, that would be hilarious to
It
me.
would be,
Just
but I
because
mean,
of
like,
how good he is to never win a championship. He'd be like McDavid.
yeah, true. It would. Yeah, that'd be pretty ridiculous. Fair enough. But I
He'd
mean,
be like,
I
yeah,
think McDavid's gonna get one though eventually. Like he's gotta. I mean,
they're
although
brutal.
everything's
Hey,
not looking sharp this year, they're beating Nashville 3-2. They're beating Nashville 3-2 right now, and they won their last game. So we'll see. Maybe it's turning around already, but tough start.
I actually saw the Canucks game was playing. They're on like the tiniest little. You go to the bar here, and they never have they never have any hockey games on
They won an
ever.
OT. Miller.
Yeah, Miller. I saw.
Yeah.
Dev had it on his phone. I was watching it on the
Oh,
phone, and he's just
the
absolutely
phone.
sniped it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, well, see, I was phone sniping it. I was like, fuck. It was like, oh, Canucks game is in overtime. I thought they were gonna lose again because they fucking always lose in overtime. But
Hopefully
I
they'll
don't know.
turn things around. But
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 14th episode of the Jungle Hockey Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Owen Elson. How's he doing today?
he's doing pretty good. Long day of prickle removal in the rain. I'm sure you don't miss those. But yeah.
Sick, dude.
So I got the hands have a lot of holes in them. By like it was a bylaw removal, like they had to, so
Yeah,
it was crazy. But we're feeling good. Happy to be back recording and finishing off another episode, even though the midterms and school and everything's been pretty hectic for us this last week or
bro,
two
you got a
here.
lot. We got a lot going on, man.
A lot going on,
It's
but
hard to
excited
fucking keep
to
up.
get into it, talk some hockey here.
Yeah, of course, of course. Good interview. Good interview today as well.
Yeah,
As I
great
was gonna
interview
say.
coming today. Former teammate of mine, Austin Charlton, played for Mission for a couple of years. He's also in Comox this year with Braden Candy. But we wanted to get another VI player on, and I know that all three VI associated people we've had have all been Comox, but that's just where the connections are right now. And I actually have talked to some other guys in some other spots that we'll be getting on him in
Yeah, seemed like a good guy. He was you might want to tune into the YouTube actually. There's a lot going on in the background
There is, yeah, the YouTube. Yeah.
during that during that interview. He actually took us through to the Comox Valley to the Glacier Kings den there. The what's it called? Their fucking dressing room. Which is pretty cool. We got like a little tour. I don't know if that was part of the interview, but we got a little tour and he just showed us around. So
Yeah, no, the tour was before we were recording, but yeah, we got the full nice tour of the facilities there, the big Yeti out front, and then Charlie did the interview from inside the actual dressing room, and a little bit of movement in the background as well. But
yeah.
yeah, check out the YouTube video. We need more people watching the YouTube anyways. Make sure you subscribe on there, like, maybe throw a comment. The YouTube needs a little more engagement, so check out that interview.
One interview just absolutely popped. I forget which one it was.
It was Bainsy.
Bainsey's interview just
Yeah,
absolutely fired up for no
Bainsy's
reason.
interview on YouTube popped for
I don't
some
know
reason,
why, but
and
and
yeah,
then everything else is just kind of yeah. But
yeah,
yeah,
but
no, check it out.
yeah, for sure. But Joey, I think let's probably kick it off today by getting into the jungle as usual, buddy.
Oh yeah,
I can start off by giving us a little bit of a pidge recap while you get us a VI recap ready.
VI.
Or sorry, KI. Okay. But yeah, I mean, as far as the pidge, um, when it comes to the stat leaders, not a lot's changed. We got Schoberg with 30 points in 16 games. He's just lighting it up. Jack LaGrange is right behind him. Nicholas Noren, Nolan Bauscher, Lucas Ravenstein, those two both on Ridge, and then Ryder Matheson, Schoberg's line mate. Besides the guys from Ridge, Delta, and Richmond, we got Bailey Awanis and Marcus Jack from Poco are both up there with 19 and 20 points. Connor Jarvis from Abbotsford, Cody Johnson from Abbotsford, Colin Jang from Port Moody, and Connor Hughes from Port Moody. Just a few of the guys from, the teams that aren't absolutely dominating that have made it onto this list. And then D-man Keegan Bankier still leading the way for White Rock. He's got 17 and 12. So pretty good numbers from a D-man there. As for the standings, I mean, it stayed pretty predictable, man. Port Moody finally got a win. They beat Mission at home. I will say one thing about playing in Port Moody is, dude, they used to have a really small, shitty old rink that we would play on, and there was an Olympic size right next to it. So we always played on the small, shitty one, and then randomly last year we played on the Olympic one, and I'm assuming they still do. But it gives them such a huge advantage at home, dude. Like their power play is automatic at home. Like it isn't a big advantage, but I think honestly, Port Moody, like they still have some time to try and figure it out, even though it's looking bleak. Um, Another thing, there's a lot of rumors starting to heat up, Joey, and luckily this year, now that I'm behind the scenes, I'm getting a little more of the inside scoop as far as trade
On what,
rumors,
bro?
and
Oh,
then
shit like that.
shit like that, and then I mean, obviously, some stuff that might be happening next year. Like we're hearing from different people, so we got a lot of inside scoops that we're excited to monitor, and maybe eventually we'll be able to break some news or something on here one day. That would be the
Breaks.
goal.
That would be kind of cool if we broke stuff on here, but I don't know. I don't know if we
Yeah,
got the status for that yet.
not yet. And then
Not quite the media source.
just to finish off the pitch, as far as the standings, Ridge is still undefeated, 11-0. Chilliwack right behind them at 11-1, and then Langley, Abbotsford, both around 500, and then Mission and Surrey, and then Aldergrove, who has not yet won. So Mission and Surrey look like they'll be battling it out for the last play-in spot. And then Ridge looks like they'll lock one. Chilliwack looks like they'll lock two. Langley and Abbey will fight for three. So that division's pretty like it's so predictable. In the Tom Shaw division, however, Richmond's lost a few games lately. One of them to Abbotsford. Abbotsford also, like we mentioned, I think last episode, lost to Ridge 1-0. So Abbey's looking good. Their top nine is firing on all cylinders. Like they are getting so much production from so many different guys. So I've been high on Abbey all year, and I'm gonna keep sticking with that opinion. Delta's played 16 games in the other conference. The next closest has only played 13, it looks like. And then Langley's played
Mhm.
17 in their conference, and Ridge has only played 11. So the games played are all over the place. But in this division, Delta's in first, Richmond in second. Richmond's got the best points percentage, though, followed by White Rock and Poco. So if you go by percentage, Delta's actually in fourth, but it's just because of the games played. And then Coastal in fifth. Grandview's been playing better hockey lately. They're in sixth. And then North Van's still struggling, but a few games to play. So another division, that division, I mean, I think those bottom three teams are going to struggle to get into that fifth spot for the play-in series, and the top five are looking pretty well, not locked in, but it also looks predictable for the top five. But this division, like once playoff starts, I have no clue what's going to happen. There's a lot of teams here that could beat each other, so that's pretty much it. As far as the pitch goes, 3 stars of the week. Theo Kochin is the third star with 3 goals and 3 assists in one game.
Was that
The
2
second,
goalies for the second stars?
yeah, the second star is split between both of Grandview's goalies because Grandview's been playing great lately. Like I said, Ronan Garrity and Cheyenne Kermany. Kermany had a shutout in his one game, and then Garrity put up a 944 and a 2.47 goals against average in his 2 starts. And then the first star, Joey, another thing I got a shout out here. Steven Konechny, 4 goals, 4 assists for 8 points in 3 games. But buddy, did you see his Michigan?
No, I didn't actually.
Did
he actually pull it off?
He pulled off a nasty Michigan the other day.
That's sick.
You know, Grandview, a team that's kind of been known for having Michigan players. I don't know if you ever played against Ben Ruthven, Joey, but he's Mr. Michigan. So
oh yeah, I've heard of
probably learned it from him. Yeah, that's just unbelievable performance this week, and then the Michigan to cap it off just makes that so nasty. So that's my full Pidge recap there, buddy.
Did Ridge beat Aldergrove 11 rip?
Yeah, everyone beats Aldergrove 11 rip, dude. Like it. Sorry,
fuck,
Aldi, but it's every game. Like it, yeah. But
and then Surrey, Shenye, what's going on, man?
Oh, dude, Surrey is they are not.
They're actually in progress right now as we speak. They're playing Poco.
They're playing. Oh, okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Maybe by the end of the episode, we'll get a little update on that.
Give an update. Maybe Shenye will be gotten kicked out by then or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only game on tonight in the Pidge. But Joey, KI recap. Right. Lots been going on.
The KI recap. Well, I find it crazy that Fernie's only played 5 games.
That's insane.
Up to this point. That's insane. They're second. Yeah, I know. They're fourth in the division. They're tied with Creston. Guess how many games Creston's played? Twice as many. Fucking 10.
I was gonna say 9.
And they're on the same amount of points. 10.
That's insane.
They're on the same amount of points. So for this division, obviously Kimberly's leading the way. They're at the top. We'll get out to the point scorers, but the guy Tristan Wheel is already making his way back up to the top 5 for points. So you knew that was bound to happen. Golden looks, like Golden. Oz won't be happy with that, but I actually saw the sniper posted it was like a battle of the tanks or something. It was like Spokane versus Golden, and Golden ended up winning both games. But speaking of moving on to that division, Nelson is in the top right now. They're 7-2. Grand Forks also looks amazing, 6-2. This division actually is just as good as Kimberly's, I think.
Yeah.
With Nelson, Grand Forks, and Beaver Valley, all 3 of those teams are super, super solid.
Yeah.
Even Calscar isn't a pushover.
They looked all right.
Yeah, and then Spokane is just sitting at the bottom. They have 1 shootout loss for 1 point, and minus 37 goals difference in 8 games. So not looking solid in Spokane.
That's rough.
Yeah.
They might be a little more. USPHL type.
I think they're more USBHL bound, but
I think they should probably consider that. But
no. But then we got to keep it the Kootenay International. It can't be the Kootenay.
I know, that's a good point. They just got to figure it out.
We got to actually getting rid of Spokane would lower it to a 4-letter league, which would make it probably better.
Yeah, true.
But I don't know. Okay, where we move on? We move on to my old actually not my old division because the divisions got realigned on this side, but
true.
Princeton and Revelstoke's division. Revy dropped 2 games, both in extra time. I think they lost 6-5 to Merritt.
They did. Wes was thrilled about that one.
I know. He sent me a post. He's DM'd me privately. and sent it to me. I was like, "Fuck sakes, man!" Like he's chirping me and stuff. I was like,
I
"Fuck
love it,
off, Wes!"
Wes.
Like,
That's awesome.
and then and yeah, they dropped back to back in overtime, or it might have been a shootout. I'm not sure. So Revy picked up 2 points that weekend, but both losses against Princeton and Merritt. But yeah, with that division, Sicky has one more game played, but they're on the same amount of points as Revelstoke. And then Princeton seems to be, taking a bit of a step ahead. They're 7-1. Revelstoke's 4-1-2 with those two shootout losses, so it's kind of hurting them there. But Princeton did just drop a game to a Soyuz actually midweek, which was actually pretty surprising. Some of the boys were pretty fired up about that over here. So,
Well, Soyuz is
and then
still they're last, aren't they, in their division?
No, they're fourth, man. They're above
Oh,
They're above Merritt and Kelowna. This
oh
division actually
wow.
looks.
My bad. Since I last checked, it must have changed.
Yeah, the bottom end teams also sitting on 8 points, and Merritt and Kelowna are tied at the bottom with 7 points.
Okay.
But yeah, so some stuff to develop here. It's just good to keep your head up. And then the Doug Burks division looks like an absolute dogfight right now.
Yeah.
100 Mile is first, and they're 5-5, which is crazy. Sitting on 11 points.
5-5.
Yeah, Chase only has 8 games played. They're 5-2, 5-2-1,
Ooh,
with an
Chase.
overtime loss. I know. Chase actually looks good. I don't know. And then Kamloops, I thought Kamloops was going to be the runaway favorite to take this division. They're sitting in third, also at 5-5, same record as 100 Mile, just with a game in hand.
Okay.
And then Quesnel and Williams Lake, the two expansion teams, are both finishing up the bottom half there. But yeah, I'll make my way over to the player stats here.
Yeah, 3 stars and all that.
Bryson Dubé.
Ooh, he's been on a
Uh,
heater.
yeah, he's been I don't know if you saw the sniper post, but it
I did.
was
I did.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's 16 points in 10 games, is on an absolute tear right now for the Kamloops
Is that 9
Kamloops
in his
Storm.
last 4 or something?
Yeah, something insane. He's just been popping off recently. Levi Astle has 15-9 for Grand Forks. He's got 9 goals in 9 games. He's operating a goal per game
Dude.
clip right now. Yeah. And then Matthew Langdon on Princeton, who honestly I didn't expect to have as many points as he does, but he's doing really well.
Good for him.
7 goals and 8 assists in 9 games, 15
Ooh,
for 15 points.
yeah.
And then, you weren't going to keep this guy off the score sheet for too long. Tristan Wheels, fourth here, also on 15 points with 5 goals and 10 assists. And then running out the top 5 here, Jaden Rush. I can't say it's Rushnak or whatever. He's on 100 Mile. He's the
Yeah,
100
you've been
Mile guy
talking
that
about
was
him a
leading the
lot.
league for a while.
Yeah.
15-11 here. So yeah, not a lot more to say on the KI here. We're just gonna keep looking at the 3 stars of the week. Nathan. Well, okay, Dubé had. There we go. Dubé was the forward star of the week. We do it a little different up in the KI. So the forward star of the week, he had 9 points in 4 games. Yeah, so you're right. And then Whiter had a 3-point night in Merritt, and then got scratched the next game.
Saw that. Yeah.
I don't know what that was about. That must have been something going on. Something going on behind the scenes, but I'm not really sure. And then Princeton's new goalie, Gibson Horn, with a 50 of 51 in one game. So he stopped 50 of 51.
What a
So
game.
that guy must have had a game, dude.
That's like what
Yeah.
Abby's goalie had in that 1-0 game against Ridge where they lost. Something
Really?
ridiculous. Like 40. It was like 42 of 43
Okay.
or something.
Oh my God. They played Oso. Oso put up 51 shots on Princeton.
Wow.
That's crazy, actually.
Is Oso like a little sneaky, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe they are. No, not. I don't know. I don't think so. I can't. I don't know. I can't say that yet. I can't say they're sneaky good yet.
No, that's
Got
fair
to see
enough.
some more results. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the KI, I think. I'm not sure if you've heard anything coming out of there, but
No, I will actually just quickly mention we've been talking to the sniper lots. We've been chatting with the sniper, so there will be keep an eye out for maybe some collab stuff or the odd thing. The snipers on board with the pod, and like we've said, we're fans of the sniper. So we'll move on to the VI now.
it's actually fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, oh no, he's a beauty. But Joey, yeah, I believe I heard you mention a goal per game, a guy going at a goal per game click in the KI. In the VI, we got two. We got Jake Westhaver, who I believe you said you played against his brother.
I'd I think I played against both of them. I'm not gonna lie. I think they were both in the tournament last year.
Yeah, because so Jake's still on Sanis. He's the goal per game, 20 points in 13 games, leading the VI. And then Carson Brown on Kerry Park. This was the guy we talked about in the preview, saying he played in the OJ last year and he's
Oh
coming
right.
back. He had a 5-goal game the other night. He's got 11 goals in 10 games, 17 points. So just a couple guys that have been, just stuffing the net. The Port Alberni rookies, Grayson Salmon, Liam Smith, and Sean Richards, all still lighting it up. Salmon has 19 points, Smith has 18, and Richards has 17. Salmon's has the most and has done it in 2 less games as well. I believe he is the best point per game in the league. And then after
Wow.
that, I mean, Zion Lavoie from West Shore still putting up good numbers. He's got 17 and 12. Jacob Morrison from Kerry Park has 16 and 10. I'm assuming he's been playing with Carson Brown. And then Jacob Koulis leading the way for Campbell River with 16 points in 11 games. That's most of the guys up at the top when it comes to the forwards. But when it comes to the D, still not really any D that are like on that front page, like point per game. The best one's actually been Joe Maranzino on Peninsula. He's a 05 rookie with 12 points in 12 games. I feel like that rookie designation might be wrong. Like he's an 05 and he's this good. He probably played junior somewhere else first, but he's from Denver. Yeah, he probably played junior in the States or
Oh,
something.
okay.
But he's got 12 points in 12 games. Tristan Williams on Campbell River, defenseman, also has 12 points, but in 14 games. And then Joe's favorite player, UC Sarny, 10 points in 12 games as a D-man. And the Comox Valley Glacier Kings, Henry Toomer with 10 points in 8 games. This is actually a name I don't
Toomsy.
recognize. Comox. I don't remember him being
New
there.
acquisition or
Yeah, I honestly don't know. He's played 8 games, so he can't be that new. But yeah, I don't remember seeing him previously. But he's from Comox too, so he's been playing good. Obviously, Alex Alhaj on Comox, 8 points in 13 games now from the back end. That's the guy from France. So slowed down a little bit, but obviously he's still a high end player there. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the stat leaders. As for the actual standings, not a lot's changed. Campbell River and Port Alberni still fighting for that first place spot in the North Division. Campbell River has it right now with 21 points in 14 games. Port Alberni, 1 less game played, but only 16 points, so they're 5 back. Then Nanaimo and Comox both right, only 2 points behind Alberni with 14. Comox has played 13 games, though. Nanaimo's only played 10, so Joey, it actually looks like Nanaimo might be just as good, if not better, than Alberni. Like, when you look at
what?
the win, well, Nanaimo's got a way better
Fuck.
win percentage. Nanaimo's looking pretty. I think we just underrated Nanaimo, dude, to be honest.
That's bad for my predictions, dude.
I know, but yeah. And then I mean, Comox still hovering around 500, while Oceanside and Cowichan struggle. So another like top 4 in that division look pretty locked in. And then as for the
Yeah.
South, Peninsula is still dominating. West Shore also very strong, and then Kerry Park looking a lot better. They've only played 10 games, so they're in third. If they win both of those 2 games they have at hand, they'll be 1 point out of second. So another in that division, like those top 3 look pretty far ahead. Victoria is right around 500, 5-5-2, and then Saanich, a struggling team, 3-10. So out of the 11 teams in the VI, it looks like there's 3 that are really struggling, which I mean leaves the other 8 for the playoffs. So it's looking pretty predictable, but we'll obviously keep an eye on the VI, and we're excited to talk to some guys from some other teams that have had some different experiences there. But I think that pretty much wraps that up. Joey, you think it's a good time to send it over to our interview with Mr. Austin Charlton today?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Alrighty, so we already mentioned lots about the interview with Charlie. It's a good one. He sat down with us for I think just under 30 minutes. So stay tuned to that. We'll send it over to him right now.
Owen, I remember my first hockey game. The excitement of watching hockey live. The chill of the ice and the slam of a full NHL hockey player slamming against the boards. It was just nothing like it. I remember me and you going to the outdoor game at the Heritage Classic in Vancouver there. I also remember, Brock Besser almost tearing the roof off the building when if he would have scored a third goal to get a hat trick. We watched the Canucks win a couple times, which was pretty sweet. Well, I want to introduce you to a ticketing service called Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes it getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. My personal experience, I was just looking at the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Broncos this Sunday. They had a whole bunch going on, but I love how they sort all your tickets into the deals called Super, and then they even have the cheapest tickets or whatever you need. This app really surprised me by showing me, they had this one seats for like $120 off. It was pretty insane and it weren't upper bowl either. There was like in the middle by the sideline. It was pretty sweet. Customize your spot. Game Time Picks curation makes it easier to save on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. All-in pricing. Toggling this feature allows total upfront, no surprise fees at checkout. You can even get your seat view with a panoramic view from the seat and the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee, or Game Time, will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.
Awesome. I'm super excited to bring on our next guest. From Chilliwack, BC, he started his junior hockey career with the Mission City Outlaws for his first 2 years. Before this season, moving on to Comox to play for the Comox Valley Glacier Kings, where he has been named an assistant captain there. Super excited to welcome on Austin Charlton. Charlie, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How's it going, guys?
Good. You got a great background there.
Yeah, I know, buddy. Buddy walked right in as we started here. That's Durant.
Oh, guys, photobomb
You
me on
gonna
the
come
back
say
there.
hi or what?
Yeah, get him in here for a minute.
Get him in.
How's it going?
What's up, boys?
What's up, bud? Boys, you guys actually got a sweet room, man.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I gave him a quick tour of the room and then outside the big Yeti and all that. So
Yeah, the decor is nice. It's on that.
the footsteps. Yeah, no, it's a pretty sweet setup. We want to get our lights in here. Kind of, they're gone, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a few aesthetic
Fair enough.
fixes we need to do, but other than that, like it's compared to Owen, I'm sure you can agree. Compared to Mission, anything. I mean, we didn't even have a room there, right?
I was gonna say anything's better than Mission, bud.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure,
man.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
No,
let's
okay.
get into it a bit then. So we'll go kind of the same
Yeah.
way we start pretty much every interview. Right back to your roots. When you first started playing hockey, you have anyone who really got you into the game or who you looked up to, and how'd your whole hockey journey kind of start off?
Yeah, so I started playing when I think I was about 6 years old, and I didn't even want to start playing. I kicked and screamed. I did everything to try and not get into my gear and go to the rink, but my parents wanted me to play and my brother played too, so I kind of I sucked it up, and then I actually ended up falling in love with the game, right? And
Yeah.
once you fall in love, then you can't really get out of it. That's kind of where everything came from, and then I wanted to play junior and took the whole rep route in Chilliwack Minor and pretty much played house for most of my life. I was a house vet, if you want to call it that, and then I pretty much played A3, A2, and then up to A1. I kind of built my way up, which was definitely a confidence booster, seeing as I could progress throughout the different years. And obviously signing to the Mission City Outlaws, that was a huge accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
And then coming here, which was another dream
huge
come
step,
true, right?
I was gonna say, I saw you. I EP'd you before we did the before we did the
Yeah,
interview, right?
yeah.
So I was looking at it. I was like, you played 2 games with the Jets. Would that have been like the expansion year or what?
So I think I played my 16 year. I played two
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
So
When you're
that
you're
was,
still on U18A1 there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was kind of, I got a taste of it, and I got cut actually that year. I got cut
Okay.
I was last cut of the Jets,
Yeah.
and then I just got a taste from it that year, and then I was just like, yeah, that's where I wanted to go, and then I started building off of that.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, you're from Chilliwack. You grew up playing there. So what was kind of that experience like, just growing up and playing in Chilliwack, and then how did you end up deciding after playing those games with Chilliwack to end up coming to Mission instead after?
So playing in Chilliwack, I mean, Chilliwack's had some really good players be put out. I mean, obviously, you guys know Zach Benson, great player in the NHL now, and it's just I grew up playing with his younger brother. I played like a year with him, and it's a lot of raw talent coming from Chilliwack, I found. But as you get older, I found it was just a lot more of the kids that just wanted to kind of stay back home and just play high level.
Yeah.
They didn't want to have to drive an hour for practice to go play the Fraser Valley Thunderbirds or anything like that. It kind of got to that point, and then it was just kind of, if I wanted to exceed from there, then I had to get out of there. And then, like you said about the Chilliwack Jets part, that was just kind of, I tried out for them, and then I signed up for both camps the next year, and it just so happened that they were on the exact same weekend, exact same times, and everything like that. So it
So you had to
was,
choose.
yeah, I had to choose, and I was like, well, they cut me last year, so I don't. Maybe we'll try a fresh start here and go to Mission, and then I knew Lane Jensen out there, and then I
Oh, good
did
guy.
kind of know Caden
Yeah,
Carcioglu, or I always mess up his last name, but
Arciolo.
yeah, there we go, there it is.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was kind of the deciding factor for me.
nice. And
Yeah.
then
Okay.
tell us a bit about your first year in Mission. Then what was it like being a rookie? That group of guys, you get your first playoff experience, bit of a playoff run. Your whole experience. What was it like just being a rookie for the Outlaws?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely came into that year definitely having to prove myself. I thought anyway, not knowing anyone on the team and just kind of coming in as a defenseman who's never really been offensive. I mean, Brad looked at me as the defensive D zone guy, the penalty kill guy, and that's kind of what I tried to stick to playing my game out there. And obviously, great group of guys. Like my first year, we had Chase Newman as the captain. He was my vet, and it was. I honestly have nothing bad to say about any of those guys. Like it was a great experience, and I'm so glad I got to play 2 years there.
No, yeah, I played with Newman in Bantam, I think. That was
Yeah.
Bantam, right, Owen?
Yeah, Bantam. Yeah,
Yeah, he wore the C that year too. He was a great captain,
hmm
so I completely
hmm
agree with you.
yeah, beauty. Outlaws legend. All 5 years there.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Super, super, super legend there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just a little bit more. I mean, some rookie. Actually, real quick, I want to tell a story, Charlie. I want to ask if you remember this. So
Oh gosh.
well,
Oh
it's not
no.
really a story. It's actually I don't even remember if it was you. So it's a bit of a question.
hmm
But in
Yeah,
main camp in your rookie season, uh,
yeah,
in one of the scrimmages, we're in the offensive zone. I was playing against your team, and I pass it up to the D man. D man wires a one timer, and it drills you in the neck. And I was
yeah. That.
standing right next to you. Puck bounces on my stick, and I stop, and I'm like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Like, and you look up, blow past me, take the puck, and just start going. I was jaw dropped. You got?
Yeah.
Can
No.
you tell us about that?
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. That was Mackenzie Adams.
Yeah,
His big slap shot, one of the hardest
Oh, that
shots
guy
on
was
the
a
team.
rig.
yeah,
Yeah, he this was like one of the first games, and I was actually, it just so happened that I was on the ice the same time as kind of all the returners.
yeah,
So they saw him teeing it up, and they all cleared out right away. Like just made a lane for him, and I'm kind of still standing there like, "Oh, whatever. Like I can block a shot. It's fine." And then it just comes straight for my neck, and I think it was just in that moment, I was like, oh, I can't look like a bitch right now, but I just got to keep going. And yeah, no, I do remember that.
Yeah, well,
was
that literally, like, that was, I was like, who is this kid? He's a nail gun. Like, oh my, like, I had no idea who you were, right? Like, at the time.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that up
Mhm.
quickly. And then one more thing I wanted to ask. You also, I believe you were rookie of the year that your first year
Yeah.
with the Outlaws.
I was, yeah.
How many other rookies were there, and what was the experience like with like 12, 20-year-olds?
It was just me and we had 4 for a bit, and then we ended up trading. We had like Mackay, and then those guys. But then at the end of the year, it was just me and Peebles. It was just me and Peebles. So that was, yeah. I mean, not a whole lot of competition for the rookie
For
of
the rookie of the
year.
year.
Yeah, because he had a shoulder injury that year.
Yeah, he played 4 games.
So he played 4 games the whole
So
year.
it defaulted
so it was
to you then.
Yeah, it was kind of a default win, but I'll still take it, right?
100%.
So what were the rookie duties like when there's only 2 rookies rocking around?
Oh, I was thinking about that before I joined, and it was because we have such different rookie duties here,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's changed so much even since I was a rookie.
Oh, dude, I completely agree with you.
I think it's honestly they're steering away from the culture, and I personally believe it's such an important culture you have to have on a junior team.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
But I think really the only rook duties were just like pucks, nets, and bottles, and then shampoo, because we didn't have a room, so there was no suite.
Yeah, that's right.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice in that aspect, but.
I was gonna say a lot of the rookie duties were in Revelstoke where it was related to the room, like cleaning up the room, vacuuming, mopping, or whatever. And
even here, yeah, same thing.
Like buying shampoo for the team, but you can't even put shampoo in the room because then you guys, if you leave it, then it's just it's a donation, right?
Exactly, right. Someone else is gonna steal it.
Yeah, it's brutal.
The amount of times we didn't have shampoo after games because rookies didn't bring it is actually a travesty.
Yeah, I'll own up to that. I forgot it quite a few times.
Yeah, but you were the only one. I mean, more like last year, last year Pete was pretty good, but the year before, no, yeah, it was last year still then, yeah.
No, it was still last year because we had taken Peden off.
Right.
Taken off shampoo.
He was the only one who brought it.
Yeah, and it just went downhill after that.
Yeah.
So, well,
Joe, you
going with the
PI questions or something or whatever.
Yeah, I was just gonna go more into the culture. Like you're more of a leader now in Comox, right? You got a letter, right?
Yeah, I do have a letter.
I was gonna say how much you think that it's changed, the culture has changed in not even like the landscape when it comes to rookies, because there's been some stuff come out like they've been trying to push it away a little bit, trying to make sure everyone's equal, right?
Right.
Like I don't know if your coaches have talked to you about it as well, but
mm-hmm.
I kind of went through a similar experience. Like my first year when I was a rookie, we got treated pretty poorly by a couple of the vets. So I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit and kind of your role.
No. So it's definitely changed a lot. Like even like you said, a lot of the media now, a lot of teams take it too far, I find. And that's kind of when it becomes a problem.
For sure.
But I mean, like, I honestly don't see any harm in it. Like, you're a rookie on the team. You just came to the league. You got to earn your way. You gotta prove that you're a team guy. You got to prove that you're looking out for the boys. And by doing that, it's doing your rookie duties. And I just feel now these kids, the rookies now, they just have such an attitude towards it. Especially Durant too. He's always he's always got an attitude. Him and Dunzire.
Yeah.
Are they like how Andy was in court?
Oh, the whole team is how Andy was in court.
Oh,
it's
brutal.
You guys got to get a gavel in there.
We got to get something. We got to get something that'll just teach him to not talk, because our courts here are brutal.
I was gonna say our courts in Revy went downhill after our group kind of got a hold of it and we became vets. We kind of started abusing the system a little bit, and then some of the rookies were just fucking so fucking done with it. It just stopped. The authority kind of faded away a little bit.
It's just like you were getting yelled at and all this, and now you have the power, and you're just you get excited about it sometimes, throwing too many fines around or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So
no, I gotcha.
So, I mean, obviously, your first 2 years in Mission, now you're in Comox. Do you just fill us all in on that transition, how it went, and what it's been like being on the island in a kind of a new league in a way, with it being unsanctioned?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Candy talked about this too. The league is a lot more fast out here, I found anyway. But even saying that, my first year in the PIDGE was like a lot faster than my second. So I don't know if it's just the PIDGE is kind of slowing down with the kids that are going there instead of the KI or the VI or, wherever they go. But I mean, out here, I find it's a lot more physicality wise. It's a lot more like you're working to get that puck. A lot more bigger guys out here too.
Yeah.
Which you don't really find in the PIDGE anymore, I find. Not you, Durant. You're not a big guy. But yeah, it's definitely a lot different league, I find. It's a lot more skillful, a lot more fast paced, and just all around just the effort people put in on and off ice. It's game changer when you look at it.
Right. And then what's the transition itself been like for you? I mean, moving there, obviously, when it first happened, Dickie was your coach in Mission, and he brought you and Candy over. So just kind of what was the transition phase like?
Yeah, so it was definitely weird. It was kind of my first time moving away from home for a sport. And it's something everybody wants to do in their lifetime. It's a great experience, and I never wanted to turn it down. As soon as I got the call from Richard saying, "Hey, I'm coaching in Comox, like, you want to come with me?" I'm like, absolutely. I was hands down, not a thought about it. I wanted to come here right away.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's a great experience moving away from home for a sport. And honestly, you moved further than I did. Like, moving on the island life, it's not a quick jog over back home.
It's different. It's a lot different too. Yeah.
I was gonna say, you adjusted to it a little bit, or is it still kind of settling in?
I don't know. The weather's weird here. I wake up for practice in the morning, and it's either like 8 degrees or it's 14. I don't understand that part of it. So that part's kind of messing me up. I don't know how to dress out here yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, that's
it's
good.
Not like the Chilliwack cornfields.
No, not like the Chilliwack corn and the sweet manure smells. And
oh man, I hate. Oh, I'm not. I don't miss that at all.
No, getting stuck behind tractors and.
I
don't miss that. I don't miss that part of Chilliwack, but
no. But moving away is. I seriously recommend it to everyone if you get the opportunity, man. It's
absolutely.
Such a different perspective on life.
Yeah, and you learn different things, right? You learn how to be more independent. You learn how to time management. And
yeah, is it your first time in billets?
This is my first time in billets. Yeah.
So how you like that?
I like it. Yeah, it's nice because my billet's actually like 2 minutes from the rink.
Oh, that's sick.
So I roll out of bed at 5 to 7 in the morning, and I'm already here, right?
Yeah.
So it's super nice in that aspect, and even my billeting situation are family friends that we've known for a while.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, that's chill.
So
it's
nice. I didn't have to go through that awkward stage of meeting a new family. It was just right away, just comfort, and
I had that in my third year in Revy as well. I moved in with people that I kind of knew already, and it was so much better.
It just makes it a lot easier too, right? The transition, and then just knowing you have someone close to you.
Yeah,
that's just one.
Especially moving away for the first time, it's probably pretty big for you. That's good.
Exactly, right? It was definitely a helping stepping stone there.
That's good, man.
And then
Mhm.
obviously, I mean, we thought that originally it might only be for the VI, but everyone has visors now. I know you had a bit of a tough experience in preseason already, but what's it been like getting used to
Yeah,
visors, and how excited are you to be wearing one for the rest of the year?
I mean, I obviously you guys know what happened there. Preseason game, just take a shot straight to the mouth. It's like it's when that's your first experience wearing a visor in game scenarios, it's so hard to justify wearing one.
I bet.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm back to one now,
Yeah.
and we've played I think 4 games now. I've been using it, and I like it. I'm not really. It's part of the game, right?
Yeah,
And that's
for sure.
even with the shot I took in the first year. I'm not going to sit on the ice because it's going to happen.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's unfortunate the way it happened to me, but even for the people that are scared to wear them, it's only dangerous if you play scared, right? If you play timid, if you play scared with it, then that's when you're gonna put yourself in those vulnerable positions that the cage would protect you more.
Right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Should we should we expect to see you drop them a few times this year now that you actually can, or?
I'm thinking it. I haven't really been looking for it yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the teeth. The tooth is still in, so kind of got to get that fixed before anything else. But I had an altercation in Saanich. Yeah, Saanich, where our player got hit in the back, and then I tried to fight, but he didn't want to go.
Oh, he didn't
or
want it,
anything,
eh?
Oh,
so.
okay.
Too
Okay,
intimidating.
well, it's good to know you're willing.
No, it was end of game, and I was not very happy with the score, so I was just I got to do something,
Yeah.
try and get the boys going, but it doesn't work out all the time, right? So
Nice.
So, I mean, I guess we could touch on kind of how Comox is treating you a little bit. I know we're probably not going to talk about it on here. There's some news coming out there, but I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on like not like the team itself and like how the daily life's going and how different is it compared to playing in Mission.
it's a huge, like, it's different in so many different ways. I find you're a lot closer with your team if you're playing away from home, just because everyone's doing the same thing. So you're gonna try and do more team bonding stuff, and even in that sense, we try and do stuff once a week as a team, and just like it's an amazing community here.
That's great.
Like I'm sure I think Candy touched on it, like 700 fans.
Yeah.
And it's just the arena just erupts. It's awesome to see all the loyal fans that are here every day, all the little kids wanting the signatures and pictures, and just being so connected to the community as well. It's awesome to see.
That's sweet,
That's
man.
great.
Yeah.
And then all I really got left here is just when it comes to the actual hockey and the actual team itself, what are your obviously you're 19, what are your expectations for the team this year, for yourself, and then as well as for the future? Like what's your goal here?
Yeah, honestly, for the team this year, I think we have a really good group of guys here, and I think we're really starting to come together as a team. I found in practice too, everyone's starting to gel as a line, and I think that's a huge factor in us making a run this year. And I think I don't think it's out of reach at all for us. If we just keep going on the path we're going and we just play our game, work hard, I don't think it's out of reach whatsoever.
That's good to hear. Well, I mean, you guys had a big win against Alberni the other night, 2-1. So hopefully, you can compete with the top.
I think
teams.
that definitely put us in a better position mentally wise. Definitely for the team. Just coming off a few losses, it's just hard to get your mojo back. But once you get that win against a team like Port, it's awesome to feel. It's amazing.
That's good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Owen, I think I'm out of questions here. I think I don't know.
You're pretty much good.
Yeah,
Charlie. I don't have much else for you, buddy. Besides what I asked you before the interview. Do you have any? Do you have a best chirp that you've ever heard? If you don't, that's okay. And then also, just any hockey stories that you
Yeah.
want to tell from any time, or multiple if you have them.
It's I don't really know if it was a chirp, but it's more of a story.
Okay.
Owen, you might remember this. Do you remember we played Delta in Delta and Candy scored?
Oh my
And then he grittied to the bench, and
Oh man.
every game after that, anytime they would score, it was just, oh, do the gritty, just that got under my skin so much.
Yeah. So Joe,
And it
Delta
was
obviously was a wagon that year, and they were out
Yeah.
shooting us like 30-3 in the first period. And
Oh, man.
but no, it was 0-0. Candy walks in and snipes with a minute left in the first. Gritty's by their bench, and we ended up
Yeah.
losing like 5-1. And they're just
Yeah. And-
every time by the
yeah.
bench, they're all grittying, they're all yelling, "Candy, do the gritty!" And then
Was
like
that the
Charlie
team
said,
Was that the
every
team that
time
beat
we
us in
played-
Cyclone?
yes.
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah,
Same.
those guys were. I know
It might
why.
have
I
been
know
the
why
next
you're
year,
chirping
but-
them though.
No.
I remember
Yeah,
that
no,
team.
that's pretty good,
Oh
Charlie.
man,
Yeah.
But any
Next-
other crazy stories or anything from your time at Mission, Chilliwack, whatever?
Honestly, the crazy stories would just be from Carson Romes. I could probably tell you endless stories about those guys. Just they were
Yeah.
from Chilliwack too, and I remember there would be times it'd be 3 a.m. I'd get a call like, "Hey, can you come get us? We're stranded." I'm like, "Man, we got a game tomorrow night." He's like, "Oh." It's just countless stories of that.
With those
like
two?
in the moment, I'm like, "Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this." But looking back now, I could tell you stories about Marty,
Oh,
Newman.
oh,
just-
no, fuck.
yeah, we
Well,
don't need to get.
maybe
it can go on for on.
maybe we'll have you on
forever,
another
yeah.
time, and we'll just get you to tell stories that you're allowed to tell.
Yeah,
Well, somewhat PG stories, but
I'll have to run
Alter.
through those, run them through my head first, just to make sure what I'm saying is okay.
for sure. Do you think Carson
But-
Romes would come on? I would love to get them on.
I'm sure we could get him on.
Think so?
I could call him. I could
Yeah?
give Carson a call, and I'm sure we could get him on.
I kind of want to do a duo episode with them. Get them both on at the same time, a little shake and bake special.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be amazing.
Okay, well, I'll reach
Just
out to them about that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would love to.
I
I'm sure
hope
they
so.
would love to.
But anyways, Charlie,
Yeah.
this has been great. Thank you so much for giving us. some of
Yeah,
your
thanks
time
for
to come
having me,
on.
guys. Glad I could join you.
Appreciate
Yeah, thanks,
it, buddy.
man. I
Anything else,
appreciate it.
Joe?
Yeah. Hopefully see you guys soon.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
buddy.
sounds good, man.
Thanks for coming on.
All right.
All right, Owen, the quest for the Stanley Cup starts now. The puck's dropping on the 2024-2025 season. Get in on all the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple, like picking a team to win. Just go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bets. You know, I was looking at the lines. Of course, the Canucks are favored, minus 205 against the Flames, because the Flames are, they're the Flames. So, bet maybe take that one. Or we also got, the Oil. Or we could bet the Canucks to win the Stanley Cup as well, plus 1,800. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 and get 200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get 200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Austin Charlton, for hopping on the pod, shooting the shit with me and Joey for a little bit, talking about what his VI experience has been like, billeting, moving away from home, the experience in Comox. Obviously, a lot has been going on there lately. But yeah, thanks again.
Alrighty, Joey. Well, I think it's time we get into our official Central Division preview and standings predictions. Starting off with your former slash bandwagon team. Lita, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I guess. No, I'm still a Blackhawks fan, but after all the shit that happened, I just fuck. It's like it was really hard to continue to rep the logo. You know what I mean?
Oh, fair enough.
Like,
100%.
yeah.
I hated them from the start, so
Scrolling all
it's
the way
easy.
down. Yeah, it's easy for you to hate on them because fuck, like you hated on them from the start because they would always dominate the Pens, but
Never dominated.
dominated
the Pens.
I actually don't even think they're that bad this year. We'll get into the acquisitions and losses, but I watched Bedsy absolutely snipe on who was that? Who did Edmonton put in their backup? Pickard. You just didn't even see the puck go in the net. It was in and out of the net so fast. He was just such a snipe. But anyways,
absolute missile of a shot. No, they could
Okay.
be okay.
Playoff team?
No.
Okay. Okay, acquired Mikheyev from Vancouver. They signed Tyler Bertuzzi. They signed Alec Martinez. Turvo Teravainen returns home as
Turbo.
well. No one remembers that he started in Chicago.
I think everyone does.
They actually got a decent goalie in net, Brossois. I think that's how you say it, Laurent Brossois.
Yeah.
And TJ Brody also, they signed a 2-year deal. So a lot of big pieces. And they lose Tyler Radish, they lose Mike Hardman. They didn't lose a lot. I'm going to tell you that.
They lost depth.
Reese Johnson, Colin Blackwell, Mac Inwhistle, and Tyler Johnson. So not a lot lost there.
Like bubble NHL players, like AHL players.
Yeah.
Well, what are your overall thoughts then? Break this down for us. I mean, do you like
Bedsy,
what do you think of
Bedsy throws up? If Bedsy throws up, their top six isn't even like it's. I don't think this is how their lines are going to go though.
Probably
so I feel like Reichel's top six.
I don't know.
Maybe over Kurashev.
He hasn't really proven himself yet.
Yeah, this could be a good year for him. Here's the thing,
I'm pretty sure it's Teravainen, Bedard, and Foligno on the first line.
They got Foligno on the fourth line on the depth chart.
Yeah, and then Hall, Kurashev, and Bertuzzi is the second line. Kurashev's playing center.
Okay.
So yeah, the one we're looking at is probably a little out of date.
A little bit out of date.
Compared to like the current rosters, but
okay. I don't mind their team this year.
Another addition that wasn't mentioned there, Pat Maroon, big rig. Not sure he's going to provide a whole lot, but veteran presence in the locker room at least.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, man. They got a lot of aging pieces that are not the highest skill guys. Their goalies are also not the greatest. Mrazek's been getting lit up recently. I just saw. I don't know. I don't think that there's enough. They didn't bring in enough solid. Like their first line's good.
Yeah.
Bedsy, Teravainen, Bertuzzi. I would take that. That's a solid first line. But after there, it just pretty much falls off. Athanasiou as a second line center is not the best. Their center, they don't have very good center depth.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think this is like, I actually do like the pieces they brought in with like Bertuzzi, Teravainen. Obviously, Hall was hurt pretty much all year last year, so he's in the lineup now too. So you're getting like a really reshaped top six, and then you also have guys like Frank. It's either Nazar or Nazar. In the minors as well, who are going to come up and like really round that group out. So I think obviously Chicago's still not quite there yet, but instead of leaving Bedard on an island this year, they're actually able to surround him with some like decent enough talent. I actually like their D-core. Defensively, it's really sound. I know Korchinski got sent to the minors where he'll his defensive game needs some work and he'll have the opportunity to rip it up. I saw a highlight. He scored like a nasty end-to-end goal the other day. It was absolutely insane. But Alex Vlasic on Chicago was probably one of the most underrated defensemen in the league. Like he's just absolute shutdown. Like he's a super underrated, super talented defenseman. So I think Chicago's looking good for the future, but and they've improved from last year, but obviously they're not there yet. They got some room still.
I saw a clip of Foligno handing out the chain. I think he's gonna be a good captain. He was handing out like the player of the game.
Yeah.
What was it? Fucking thing that they hang around their neck. You know what I'm talking about, like the chain thing.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a good captain, but
no, I think he's a great leader.
I don't know if they're gonna be a playoff team though.
Well, let's move on to the next team, Joey. A bit of an interesting one in my opinion this year, Colorado. There's a lot of questions surrounding this team, but maybe just walk us quickly first through, the main adds and losses for this year.
Yeah. Jonathan Drouin signs a 1-year deal. Parker Kelly signed a 2-year contract. Calvin DeHaan, they get him for a year. Oliver Shillington, another year. Eric Brandstrom, who was just traded to the Canucks, I think.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Signed a 1-year deal, and Jacob McDonald signs a 2-year deal. They lose Sean Walker on the back end, 5-year deal with Carolina. Yakov Trenin signs a 4-year deal with Minnesota. Brandon Duhaime signed with Washington. And then the couple big retirements here: Zach Parise, Pavel Francouz, and Andrew Cogliano, all hanging up the skates. So not a whole lot lost.
Not a whole lot lost when it comes to like overall talent, but I mean, I've only ever heard amazing things about Cogliano in the room and just like as a leader. Like apparently he's an unbelievable guy. Pretty sure he has some kind of management role, like some special assistant to the GM or something like that this year. Francois, I mean, not everyone probably remembers, but I believe he won 6 games in their cup run in a row while Darcy Kemper was hurt. He was huge for Colorado when they won. So it's a bit of a sad loss. He had injuries a lot, never really got to reach like his full potential. And then Zach Parise, who, I mean, obviously an all-star in his prime, Team USA, unbelievable on the Devils in their cup run back in, 2011? Something like that. I think 2012. Sorry.
Yeah.
Against LA. But yeah, so I mean, that's just another like veteran leader. And like over the past like couple of years, he's been a good depth piece there too. And then Trenin and super underrated depth defensive center. Duhaime, not much of a loss. And then Walker, like he's a good player. They probably knew when they traded for him that he was going to leave. But I mean, that's another guy they gave up assets to get. So it hurts in that sense. But I do like they have a lot of young pieces coming up. Like I know a lot of rookies in their lineup. Callum Ritchie was a first round pick. He scored the other day. He had that nasty goal in preseason. I don't know if you saw the highlight for that one, Joe. He did like a fake whiff and then it was so sick.
Was that like the thing that everyone was saying he didn't mean to do it?
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah. Everyone was saying he didn't, but no, he did. Yeah, that's the one though. Like I'm pretty sure he's slotted into the lineup and looked good so far. Kovalenko, that's a guy from the KHL who put up really good numbers and might be a good piece. But then the big thing with them is I think Nishushkin and Landeskog. I heard Nishushkin's supposed to be back in November, but we don't know. And then Landeskog, what's he going to be like when he's back? If he's back, when is he going to be back? We still like those are 2 huge question marks for them. And without those guys, like, dude, their bottom 9 is pretty rough looking right now. Like, if you look at like their lineup from their last game, like I think they have a couple injuries at the moment as well, but they're like, besides from their top line, like Ivan also made the team as a rookie this year. That was another one of the rookies, the first player to ever have the same first and last name. I believe he's from Czech Republic. So congrats to Ivan.
He's Czech.
Yeah. Like dude, their bottom pair is John Ludwig and Sam Malinsky. If you can tell me who those guys are.
That's brutal.
Like it. But I mean, listen to this. Lekkonen's out. Calvin DeHaan, who they signed, is out. Devon Taves is out. Jonathan Drouin is still out. So that's why like their bottom 9 looks so rough right now and they're deep. They do have injuries, but
no Nishushkin.
Did
you say Landeskog's out?
Like
too?
Lots of missing pieces, but at the same Landeskog's still out. He hasn't played since they won the cup. That was the last time he was on the ice. Or sorry, not on the ice, but in an NHL game.
Yeah.
So a lot of question marks. Still obviously have world-class players. I mean, McKinnon won MVP last year. Obviously, Cale Makar is the top 2, if not the best defenseman in the NHL. Devon Taves will play for Team Canada. Mikko Rantanen is perennial 40 goal scorer. Like they have the pieces as always, but depth might be a question for them this year. And I don't know if they're going to be able to like handle another long playoff series against a team that's built like Dallas or like Edmonton or something, you know?
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I think they've definitely fallen off a little bit with in comparison to how strong they were in previous years.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, still a team that I could see winning the Stanley Cup when it comes down to it.
If everyone was healthy and everyone was back, yeah. Moving to the Dallas Stars here. Sorry, Logan Stankoven's home. Possible rookie of the year candidate, low key. Like might sneak up on some people, but
Stankoven has 4 points in 3 games so far, by the way.
yeah. So keep your eye on him. But yeah, acquisitions. They signed Duchesne to a 1-year deal. They got Matt Dumba on a 2-year deal. Sam Steele signs a 1-year deal. Ilya Lyubushkin signed a 2-year contract. Casey DeSmith, Owen's favorite goalie, signed a 3-year contract, and Niels Lundqvist, a 1-year deal. They bought out Ryan Suter. They traded Ty Dellandrea to San Jose, and they traded Chris Tanev to Toronto. Joe Pavelski retired, which I didn't even realize until just now.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot. I remember seeing it, but I just completely forgot about it. Scott Wedgwood, who's I think is really underrated, but
Great backup.
Great backup goalie. Signs with Nashville, and then Radek Faska got traded to St. Louis. But this team is so good, man.
They're a great team, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of their offseason this year. Like, the thing about Dallas is I think they're probably gonna be just as good, if not better than last year, just because of like their young guys all having an extra year. Like, I don't think Seguin or Ben are gonna slow down yet. And then Johnston, Stankoven get another year. Maverick Bork's in the lineup now. He's another like first round pick. He should be a star. Him and Stankoven lit up the minors together. And then obviously they still have all the big boys: Jason Robertson, Miro Heiskanen, and star goalie and Jay Ottinger. I love Thomas Harley as well. I love Essa Lindell. They've re-signed him to a 5-year deal. The rest of their decor, though, I do not like what they did this offseason. Losing Tanev and replacing him with Dumba is an atrocious.
You don't like Dumba?
Dumba's, dude, he's brutal. He's so bad defensively and doesn't provide any offense
I don't think
anymore.
he's bad. I don't think he's horrible. He's not as good, but I don't think he's horrible.
But Chris Tanev's like a top defensive defenseman.
Yeah,
so
Chris
that's
Tanev.
just such like a downgrade. And then they buy out Ryan Suter, which I mean, Suter was getting old. Yeah, fair enough. But Lyubushkin, I mean, he's okay, I guess. And then they re-signed Lundqvist. And then another guy they signed is Brendan Smith, who's just a goon, basically. Like, so I don't really like the ads on the back end. Obviously, Joe Pavelski, Hall of Famer in my eyes. Sucks he never was able to get it done and win a cup, but that shouldn't take away from the player he was. Up front, not a lot of movement overall. Like, they still have the same main core. Besides the guys we mentioned, a lot of the guys here are just like guys they re-signed. Losing Scott Wedgwood is tough as well. I mean, you replace him with Casey DeSmith, who's been a good backup for a long time, so he should be okay there. And overall, like, even though I'm not a huge fan of their offseason, I still think Dallas is absolutely a top cup contender. They were my pick to win the cup last year. I was shocked that they didn't get through Edmonton, and they'll be right up there again this year, no doubt.
Shout out Petrovic, my coach and Revelstoke's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Petrovic, the D-man.
Alex, he's been around
Dallas.
forever.
Yeah, he's I think he's pretty much been a career AHLer, but he was
he's been up and down.
He was up on the show in their cup run last year. So
yeah, he was in Florida.
we were watching and we were talking about Petro.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's just absolutely beauty, like assistant coach in Revy. But I remember we were watching Dallas, and he was like, "Yeah, it's my brother. He's playing." It was funny, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's on. He's probably better than Smith.
Probably. Oh yeah, I would say so.
But yeah, I think really solid team.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get very much better in the offseason, but you can't write them off. Like they're
No,
still
100%.
probably still the pick to come out of the division here.
I'd agree with you, I think.
Team is Minnesota here. Okay. They acquired. Who'd they acquire? Yakov Trent. Who is this guy?
We just talked about him. He was on Colorado, defensive center.
Yeah, he was on. Okay. But did he get big money? I don't even remember the signing.
No, it was like one of those like kind of weirdly long-term deals for a depth guy. It's like two to 2.5 a year or something, I think.
4 years. Okay. This would be a GM mode contract.
Yeah.
Jake Middleton signs a 4-year deal. Travis Boyd signed a 1-year deal. They signed Marc-Andre Fleury back for another year. Jakob Lauko acquired from Boston, and Brock Faber got an 8-year deal. Losing Alex Goligoski. Oh no. Mason Shaw signed a 1-year deal with Winnipeg. Dakota Murmas signed a 1-year deal with Toronto. Lucchini signed a 2-year contract with Nashville. Vinny Lettieri got traded to Boston, and Adam Beckman got traded to New Jersey. Now this team, Owen, I want Wallstedt to play, but I know Gustafsson is going to be the backup, and I was really hoping Wallstedt would come into the league. I thought Fleury was done.
Yeah. Well,
But I
if
guess
he
we'll
gets
just have to wait
another
another year.
Yeah, I just gotta
I
wait.
guess we'll have to wait another year. How do you say the guy at the third line center's name?
I believe it's. I'm gonna probably struggle too. Kuznetsov. He's been a
Kuznetsov?
yeah Kuznetsov. He's a young Russian that's been I think he's like 22. Like he was a high draft pick, but he's been in the KHL for a long time. He's a really good two-way player from what I've heard.
Okay. And Big Bogosian on the back end there as well. I don't mind the team. I don't mind this team. I just think they might lack depth.
Yeah, I definitely think they
Especially on
lack
the back
depth.
end.
Yeah, for sure on the back end. I mean, I'm no offense, but I'm not sure who Chisholm is listed on the here. I think John Merrill's probably better than him. I don't know why it has Merrill as a scratch, but I mean, obviously still an elite first line, and hopefully Marco Rossi and Kuznetsov, like we said, can take some steps as two young centermen with pretty high hopes in Minnesota. Freddie Gaudreau is an unbelievable fourth line center. I'd probably have him playing higher in the lineup than that. Like they do have depth when it comes to like
good center depth.
Yeah, they have good center depth, and I mean, I think like Foligno and Hartman on your third line is pretty good too. But when it comes to the actual like, if somebody goes down, I'm not very confident in who their next call up is. Basically, like I'm not very confident in their extras. So if a couple injuries could really derail this team, and then like you said, I'm not a big fan of that defensive depth. Another thing about Minnesota is they're still being dragged down by the Parise and Suter buyouts. They just got to get through one more year of that, and then they are going to have a lot of money to throw around. Good timing with the Faber deal kicking in. Obviously, he got an 8 by 8.5. So, and I just wanted to touch on this quick. Trennan, I just checked 3.5 a year. So I remember when that one got announced, he's getting overpaid. Like that was a big contract to give up to a player like him. Yeah, he's not bad, but that's a little much.
Okay, fair enough.
Besides that, I mean, Brodin and Faber as a pair, like I don't think they're going to get scored on very often. Brodin's unbelievable defensively. Middleton and Spurgeon both also great defensively. So that bottom pair is not great. So yeah, like I think it does kind of come down to depth. But dude, if you put this team in the Atlantic Division, like I think they might finish last.
You think?
You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
no, like
actually,
not
honestly,
bad,
yeah.
but like I'm just thinking if they were in that division, like I don't know, dude. Unless some of these young guys take some big steps, like we were talking about, but I don't know. We'll see with Minnesota. They're kind of a wild card. Like, no, sorry, not wild card when it comes to the standings, but wild card is in. I don't really know what's going to happen with them this year.
Fair enough. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to the biggest, probably one of the most active teams in the offseason here.
Oh yeah.
The Nashville Predators. Obviously huge signings. Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, Brady Shea, Scott Wedgwood, UC Saros got his massive 8-year deal, and then David Edstrom was acquired from San Jose. They'd lose some bits. Ryan McDonough, Jason Zucker. Anthony Beauvillier, Kiefer Sherwood, Askarov got traded as well, and Cody Glass got traded to Pittsburgh. This is the best Nashville team I've seen in a long time.
This is probably better than their team that went to the finals.
Yeah,
But
like they're
how is it
actually
all
really
going to
good.
fit together? You know,
I have no idea. They're gonna have no chem.
Yeah, so they've struggled so far to put the puck in the net. I think it might take them a while to get going, but man, is this just like a top to bottom? In my opinion, like you have a little bit of everything on
decor,
this
man.
team. Like, oh, that decor defensively is so solid, and then you got
Is that the
Yossi
best
and
defensive
Shea.
decor in the league?
I don't know about best defensive, but it's one of the best overall for sure. Like, yeah, I love their decor. And then another guy to mention, a young forward, Joachim Kemmel or Joachim Kemmel. I don't know how to say it. Joachim Kemmel.
The captain of the Finland team, Joakim.
Yeah, Joachim Kemmel maybe. But you know, another very young, good-looking prospect who could probably slide in there if somebody goes down. So I like that they have depth. I think Hinestroza is a decent depth player too, as well as Bellows. Like they're like 12 forwards listed here are so good. Like it's such a deep team. Wedgwood's a great backup for Saros. Like I love, you know, they did a lot and they might have overpaid a couple guys a little bit, but clearly like you can see what they're trying to do and they're going all in. So I don't hate what they did at all. And I think they're definitely a contender if they can get the chem going.
I think, yeah, they're going to have Red Links for a little while here.
Yeah.
No, none of these players have played together except for their first line. Their first line has stayed relatively the same, I think, since last year.
I think it's the exact same as last year, but hopefully Nyquist, like he's aging and hasn't he had a big injury the year before, so hopefully he's the same as he was last year and it wasn't just a one-off.
I was just going to say there's a lot of aging pieces on this team, and if they don't get it done in the next couple of years, it's going to not look very good on the checkbook.
Yeah. No, 100%. Dude. What do you think? I just want to ask you quick. The Saros steal. So I think he got 8 by 8.5, right?
Yeah.
Or was it like
that
7?
Looks so good.
Or like 7.75 actually. Wasn't it under 8?
I got to look it up.
I think it was 7.75.
Is it actually that? If it's that cheap and Swayman just signed for that much, he got 8-year 7.74.
7.74. So I just want to ask you quick as the goalie guy, what do you think about the Saros contract? And then in comparison to the whole Swayman situation, I mean, if you're his agent, I don't know how you can argue he's worth more than Saros. But Nashville also doesn't have all those taxes.
Did you hear what Shesterkin rejected?
That's the next thing I'm going to say here. So, and then as well as Swayman, apparently Shesterkin rejected 8 years by 11. So when you look at Saros, you look at what he's getting, now what Swayman's getting, and what Shesterkin's asking. What's your opinion on just all of that as a whole? Like, who's worth what? Like,
unbelievable contract. Like, such a good. He is so good. He is.
Yeah.
If you know goaltending, you know how good UC Saros is positionally and how solid he is for being under. He's under 6 foot. I guarantee it. He's 5. Yeah. He's 5'11", and he's one of the best. The way he reads the game is just unbelievable. And
what do you think he could have got
if he was 10?
10?
No, 9. I think he's worth more than Swayman.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I think 9 would have been like I wouldn't have argued that.
I think 10's a bit of a stretch. People saying give Shesterkin 12.
Yeah.
If Shesterkin gets 12, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do something crazy.
Would you give him 12 if you were the Rangers?
No. I don't think a single goalie is worth that much. I don't think.
I don't know.
I think it's just too risky.
100%.
I don't think you can pay a goalie $12 million a year. I think you can pay a goalie $10 million a year.
I'm really interested to see how that situation plays out because we still got so much time until that decision has to be made. I'm pretty excited to follow it after the Saros deal and the Swayman drama.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is look at the price deal.
Yeah,
like he got 10.5 by what was it?
He's
6
still the
or
highest
8?
paid goalie in the NHL.
He's the highest paid goalie in the NHL still, and he hasn't played in 4 years because he got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm hungry. I don't know. Like, if you're paying a goalie that much and he's not even playing for you, like, I feel bad for the Habs. He's on LTIR, but still.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anyways, buddy, I think that's enough for that little goalie discussion.
All right, the closest team to me right now, the St. Louis Blues. Their biggest acquisition, Philip Broberg, and Dylan Holloway, just taken Edmonton's prospects.
And both got a point in their first game.
Yeah, Broberg is actually sick on fantasy. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know if you
looking
know,
good,
but you
dude.
should pick him up.
He's looking good. I've been keeping an eye on him.
Alex Texier acquired from Columbus.
And signed.
Yeah, both. Radek Faska acquired from Dallas. Matthew Jozef acquired from Ottawa, and what's his name? Pierre Oliver.
Pierre Oliver, yeah.
Jozef signed a year deal. They lose Kevin Hayes. He got traded. Adam Gaudette signed a 1 year with Ottawa. Callie Rosen. They lost Scandella, Jacob Vrana, and Sammy Blaise. So overall, this team is just so mediocre, man.
I agree with you. I will say every single guy they lost, besides I don't know, like some of these guys are like okay depth players, but none of those losses hurt. Kevin Hayes, with what they were paying him and in the role he was in, was an anchor. He's good for what he's making in Pittsburgh right now. I'm actually okay with him just because of what he's making, but the situation wasn't good for him in St. Louis. It's good that they moved on from him. Obviously, the Broberg Holloway, one of the biggest topics of the offseason. Both have looked pretty good so far, but as a whole, then besides that, they just add a few more depth pieces. Obviously, Faksa was in Dallas a long time. I was pretty surprised to see him leave and end up in St. Louis, but gives them a little more center depth. And I mean, their top six is pretty good. Jake Neighbors had a sneaky, he might have had 30 goals last year. If not, it was around there. And Thomas and Kyrou are both really underrated. Buchnevich and Shen are both still good, and they got Holloway slotted with them. So, this team, I think, honestly could surprise a few people. Obviously, Torrey Krug being out for the year is another huge loss for them.
Yeah, that's not good.
That we need to mention. And then in net, I mean, Binnington, if he can get back to his game, he's pretty solid. And then Hofer's a great backup, former World Junior goalie. So I think St. Louis might actually surprise a couple people. However, I'm not very high on them as a whole, especially that right side on D, Parayko, Falk, and Jozef is atrocious. So
yeah, for me, they're missing a star player.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't have you know how every team, Minnesota has Kaprizov, fucking Colorado has McKinnon, whatever. They don't have a
guy,
an all-star player. They don't have a guy to go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Thomas, Kyrou, Buchnevich, they could be all-stars, but they're not superstars, and they just don't have that guy.
That's a better word. Yeah, they need a superstar.
Yeah.
Binnington can be good. That's just what I mean. Binnington can be good. Parayko can be good. Neighbors, Thomas, Kyrou can be good. Even fucking Buchnevich could be good.
Buchnevich is great. He's underrated.
Is he a winger or is he a center? I swore he was a center.
I believe he's traditionally a winger, and they had him playing center last year, so I thought he was going to be playing center this year as well, but they have him listed as a winger here. So
yeah, okay, fair enough. I don't know. They just seem to be missing a really high end guy. The depth is.
I agree, buddy.
The depth is good, decent. They're very similar. They don't fall off in the forward lines. The D are great. Binnington's a good goalie. Hofer's a good goalie. I don't know. I don't really see them doing too much. They might be better than people think, but
just a team I don't really care about either.
Exactly, just kind of mediocre.
Yeah, they're so mediocre. Nothing really gets me excited about them this year. To be completely honest, so
yeah, exactly.
We'll see where we have them finishing. But you want to move us on to the newest franchise in the NHL?
The team that does get me excited,
yes, sir.
The Utah Hockey Club. Schwab's hometown, the Salt Lake City, Utah. They made some big moves actually, which I really like. I love the the acquisition of Sergachev. They acquired John Marino from New Jersey. They signed Sean Dursey 4-year deal. They got Kevin Stenlund on a 2-year deal. Ian Cole, thank God, for a 1-year deal. He's not a Canuck anymore. Barrett Hayton signed a 2-year deal as well. They didn't lose a whole much. Too much. They give up Connor Geekie in that Sergachev trade. JJ Moser goes to Tampa Bay as well. Josh Brown signed a 3-year deal with Edmonton. Travis Boyd signs a 1-year deal with Minnesota. Jan Yannick traded to Ottawa, and Nathan Smith signed a 1-year with Vancouver. This team looks so good right now.
They are absolutely rolling right now, and I don't
They
know
look
if it's
like
just
they're
like
so
the new
fun to watch.
franchise boost, but yeah, they fly, dude. Like they have been electric so far. They have 2 great goalies. Connor Ingram's so underrated, and then VIJHL great too. They have an unbelievable decor, in my opinion. Like I love what they did this offseason. They re-signed Dursey as well. I like Ian Cole. I'm an Ian Cole defender.
I watched Ian Cole. He was skating like Makar out there in preseason. It was fucked.
And then Kesserling on the back end is a pretty underrated guy too. They got him from Edmonton a couple of years ago. And then, I mean, the young pieces, Genther, I think, has 5 or 6 goals already. I think he's leading the league. He's been on fire so far.
Gunther,
Josh
he
Doan,
seemed to snipe the first one.
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, he's a stud. And then you got Josh Doan, Matthias Michelli's another good young player. Logan Cooley, Clayton Keller just got announced as the captain. He's still young. He's been looking great. Nick Schmaltz has looked great so far, and Barrett Hayton's been playing great so far. The former 5th overall pick that has kind of had a slow development route, but he's starting to look like he's really coming to his own. He's been great so far this year. So I have pretty high hopes for Utah. I think they have a lot of depth, so much youth, and I love the moves they made too. They bring in some guys with the cup winning experience. So I'm really, I like this team a lot.
I do too. I think they're really fun to watch. I think it's hard not to be a Utah fan after the whole situation that went down in Phoenix, and they finally get out and they finally, get the support that they need. So
sure.
I think really bright future.
Yeah, 100%.
I love the Sergachev trade too, or the Sergachev trade. Yeah, trade
and Marino trade. I love both of them.
Yeah, I think they're a really good team. They have really good prospects coming, and their prospects are starting to come through from all those days of them just absolutely sucking in Phoenix.
Dude, and then like the prospects like that haven't broken in yet too. Like they drafted that Simashev 6 overall. They drafted I think it was Daniil Butts 12th overall.
Yeah.
I think that's his name. And then who'd they take this year, man? Tidgeginla. So I mean,
imagine Tidgeginla slotting into this lineup.
Yeah, and then another guy, Maverick Lamoureux, was a first rounder too a couple of years ago. So they have so many guys as well who haven't broken in yet and probably will over the next year or two. Like the future is so bright in Utah. Joey, I'm sure you saw the cheap menu too that the owner put out for the fans.
That was sick. That's actually so sick. I actually love that. It was like $3 beers.
Yeah, dude, and like the barn is rocking. So it's looking great so far in Utah. It's been a great, start to the franchise, and the team's looking good. I have high hopes for them, buddy.
Do you think they make I think they might sneak into the playoffs.
We'll see.
It's possible.
We'll see.
Okay, the last team, the Winnipeg Jets. The subject of a weird prospect trade. This not a weird prospect trade, but
weird.
An interesting prospect trade. Was it weird?
It was weird.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Okay, they got Dylan DeMello on a 4-year deal. Jarrett Anderson Dolan signed a 2-year deal. Capo Cajonen 1-year deal. Hayden Fleury. They acquired Braden Yeager. Sorry, not Brandon. Braden Yeager. And they signed Colin Miller to a 2-year deal. They lose Monahan, who signed with Columbus. Nate Schmidt got bought out. Tyler Toffoli signed a 4-year with San Jose, moving back to California. Brossoit signed a 2-year deal with Chicago. McGarty was obviously the subject of that trade we were just talking about. And then Brendan Dillon signed a 3-year contract with New Jersey.
Just
what do you think, Owen? I don't know.
Another quick thing to note, Capo Cajonen just got claimed off waivers by Colorado a few days ago. So it looks like they'll be going with Eric Comrie as the backup for Connor Hellebuck. Comrie back where he started his career, like I think you mentioned the other day, actually.
I actually really like Eric Comrie's style. He's solid in the net.
Dude, Winnipeg was good last year, fell off hard at the end, and was brutal in playoffs.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of their D core outside of Morrissey and DeMello. Not a fan of their center depth at all. I mean, Nemestikov's a solid player, but that can't be your second line center. If you
Line
got
center. Yeah.
and then I mean Perfetti and Velarde are good. They're both young, but they're developing. Great third line. Obviously, Kyle Connor's a stud. Scheifele's been on fire to start the year, and he's a great player. So I don't think that Winnipeg is hopeless by any means, especially when you got Connor Hellebuck in net. I think they're a much worse team than they were last year, to be completely honest. But they still have the pieces where they can get it done. And if they add to this lineup, they could definitely be a good playoff team again.
Do you think they got worse? I think they got worse.
They lost big pieces, dude. And they gave up guys like Monahan, Toffoli, like guys who they rented. Those are big pieces that they gave up assets for. Thank goodness they traded
Brad
Luke
Lambert
Dubois.
make the team?
I do not believe Brad Lambert made the team. I'm pretty sure he's starting the year in Manitoba.
No Heinola either?
No, Heinola is not really looking like he's going to pan out, dude. He's just looking like a healthy.
Really? What about Chibrikov?
Chibrikov, he's not there yet either. He'll be in the minors or in Russia, or whatever.
Honestly, I just named three prospects off the rip.
I was just gonna say, dude, a team with a pretty underrated prospect pool. Chibrikov has 4 points in 2 games to start the year in the minors. Just so you know.
Okay.
So minors is lighting it up already.
Might be
coming 3 points in 2 games in the minors too.
Yeah. I was watching them in preseason. They were relying on preseason, I think.
Yeah. Another guy to add, Joe, from Coquitlam, Thomas Milic on the Manitoba Moose, former World Junior star.
Right, yeah.
Who we both played against a little bit here and there growing up.
We played against that guy when he was on Coquitlam A1 or A2.
I would have been A1. First year Bantam.
Coquitlam A1. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We beat them.
Yes, we did. But then
the claim to fame.
That was the claim to fame. You know, when in first year Bantam, when those guys don't leave for academies yet and stay in their hometown, so you get to play against them.
Yes, you actually get to play against good players, but now they got the fucking major Bantam, so it's over.
Yeah, exactly. But like we just talked about, actually a pretty underrated prospect pool, but I think this team's going to need a couple more years, and hopefully Scheifele, Connor, Ehlers, and Morrissey, you know, the core pieces they do have, Hellebuck, that are still talented, are still good enough when these prospects develop and are ready to, you know, play for a contending team.
I think still a playoff team, but barely.
Fair enough.
Barely.
All right,
should we do our rankings?
Let's do it. I want you to lead this one, though.
Okay, first.
Central Division. Let's hear it.
All right. We're going to start off with the obvious pick. I think me and you both have Dallas first in the division.
Yeah.
I think realistically it's going to be Colorado second, but I wouldn't doubt if Nashville can sort it out, they can also become second there. So those two teams, second and third.
They're in 30th and 31st in the NHL right now, just so you know.
I know.
Only a few games in.
I know. I mean, Edmonton is also over.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of bad teams that should be, or good teams that are doing bad so far.
Over. Anyways. Yeah. Okay, what did I say? Let's say Dallas, Colorado, Nashville. The way they're going, I can't leave Winnipeg out. Fuck it. Utah 4th, Winnipeg 5th, but wild card goes to Winnipeg.
Wait, so they're both wild cards? 3 Pacific teams?
No. It's 4 and then wait. How does it work again?
Well, the top 3 are a lock, and then
and then the 4th
2 wild cards.
And 2 wild cards.
So if you have Utah 4, they're a wild card, probably.
I think the Pacific is so bad, man. I think the Pacific is bad.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I don't know. I think it could turn out that way.
So is Utah 4th?
I'd say Utah's 4th, Winnipeg's 5th. Fuck. Who did I leave out? Chicago and then St. Louis last. Is that crazy?
No, just checking. So Winnipeg is the second wild card.
Does Winnipeg make the play? I don't know.
And then Minnesota after Winnipeg.
Yeah. Then Chicago, then St. Louis.
So yeah, we just got to decide if Winnipeg's that wild card spot or if they're a playoff team. Just look at the Pacific quick and see if you think there's 4 teams out of there. Or
Pacific
only
is
3.
so bad. The Pacific is so bad. Canucks, Vegas, Oil. That's it. I think it could happen. I think that could happen. I think. Who else? Lost LA? No. Maybe Seattle.
I think both Seattle and LA are the only other 2 that, or I guess Calgary might, but I don't think they will.
No. Calgary's fucking horrible.
A little sneaky.
Calgary's horrible.
Give them a long run, but they're a little bit sneaky.
Calgary's so bad.
I think they're getting underrated.
I think they're bad. I think they're really bad. I don't know, Matt. Oh, fuck. We'll have to see.
You got to pick, dude.
Okay. No, okay. I'm going to go. Okay, the final order here. Dallas. Avalanche.
Okay.
Nashville. Utah.
Wildcard 1.
Utah wild. No. Yeah, Utah wildcard 1. Jets. It's either Utah or Jets make the playoffs. I think there's going to actually be 4 in the Pacific. I think Seattle's underrated.
Okay.
But for shits, let's say Seattle. Let's say Dallas. And, let's say not Dallas. Let's say Winnipeg and Utah both make the playoffs. Only 3 teams make it out of the Pacific.
Okay. And then
that's how bad I think the Pacific is.
Minnesota, Chicago, St. Louis.
And then Minnesota, Chicago, St. Louis.
All right, dude. No, I don't hate that at all. Like, I think that's a pretty good list. Mine's slightly different. So I got first place, the Dallas Stars. Second place, the Colorado Avalanche. In third, I have the Utah Hockey Club. In fourth, and the wild card 1, I have the Nashville Predators. In fifth, and the wild card 2, I have the Winnipeg Jets. In sixth, I have St. Louis. I think you had Mini. Seventh, I got Mini. Eighth, I got Chicago.
Okay. That's pretty similar. I think we have the same playoff teams, do we?
We do, just not in the same order. But I think this division, like what, Minnesota, St. Louis, and Chicago, I don't see any of those as playoff teams. So it makes sense to be the same 5.
But I look at the fucking Pacific. We haven't even done the Pacific yet, but I'm just looking at the Pacific. It's
Seattle
so bad.
is like Seattle, though. That's the thing. Like Seattle.
The only thing that I could see is that there's a Pacific team that ends up actually being good and just eats up against the shitters.
Yeah, that's true.
And ends up with more points than the team from the Central.
Yeah. Well, you guys will have to see what we think when we come back with our Pacific Division previews in the next episode. But
yeah, we'll have to see.
Are you feeling pretty good about this? Anything else for the preview, buddy?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it was tough. This was a tough one.
It was a tough one, buddy. Well, Joey, that wraps up our Atlantic Division preview. Only one preview left to go, and then our episodes are going to be changing quite a bit once we're not just previewing something the whole time, and we actually we're gonna have to come up with some new concepts here.
Oh,
dude, I'm excited though. I'm excited. Like the previews are good. We need to do them, but it's been taking longer than I think we wanted.
Good predictions. Well, dude, you can think about it. Like 4 divisions. That's a month. That's a month of episodes, bro.
That's a month. So yeah, it's been a long, and then 3 junior leagues. So it's been. I mean, there will be 7 total episodes where we just had full on preview. So it'll be nice to kind of just get into shooting the shit a little more casually, talking a lot more just in depth, I think, about the NHL, about other hockey leagues, and everything we want to be doing on here. So we're excited for that. In the meantime, a lot of pretty crazy stuff when it comes to the entire North American hockey landscape's been going on right now. Joey, you want to get us into that since you're down there in the States playing college hockey yourself?
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, okay. Can we talk about? Do we know when this verdict is actually going to come through?
I don't think we know. I believe there was like an emergency vote called or something
like that. But yeah, no, for people who don't know basically what's going on in the in the junior hockey sort of NCAA route type thing. The whole point of going play junior A, playing these leagues like the BCHL, is to play so that you can earn an NCAA Division I scholarship, because the WHL players are considered semi-pro. They can't actually earn a NCAA Division I scholarship, so it kind of separates the two.
Yeah.
However, there's been some recent developments that now they're trying to incorporate a way where players that graduate from the WHL can now go and play NCAA Division I hockey, which would completely flip everything on its head and completely screw over the BCHL. The entire point of the BCHL leaving was to make it so that everyone that wanted to go to Division I from BC or from around here on the West Coast in Canada would want to go and play there, so that they can give themselves the best shot of making the jump to NCAA Division I hockey. And I think if this did go through, the BCHL would be turned on its head. It wouldn't know what to do. Honestly, I don't know if there's a future.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen obviously we've seen lots of rumor posts too about like BCHL franchises struggling. Like there's rumors that a couple are gonna drop from the league again. I mean, they already lose Merritt. They lose
Merritt was
Wenatchee.
first, but
They lose Merritt to Merritt drops. They lose Wenatchee to the dub, and now there's rumors a couple other might be dropping. So the BCHL is a very unpredictable future. It's gonna be really interesting to see how they navigate this, especially when they've gained so much traction over the past 2 years. Like it's going to be really, really interesting to see. I do like this is amazing though for hockey, in my opinion. I think it makes perfect sense. I'm so glad that they're doing this. It's going to be crazy, dude. Like guys who play 5 years in the dub and then rip it up for 4 more years, I think was something that Greg was talking about in our interview with him. Yeah. So it's going to be insane. I can't wait to see the verdict and to see the mass amounts of guys who start committing once this does go through, because it does seem like it will.
That would be instant, man. Because it's NCAA teams are going to be like, this guy played in the dub. This guy's better. If a player sticks in the WHL, he's better than any average player in the BCHL.
Yeah.
Like you just know that for sure. And you're going to get way more NHL prospects that are now maybe not going to make the jump to the show, but they can continue playing for 4 more years, get an education, and set up their lives.
Another thing too, buddy, is even a lot of guys are late bloomers, man. Like some guys don't figure it out until they're in their early 20s. Like it takes guys some time. So I think this gives them a lot more opportunity, and they're not just told to F off to youth sports or quit. Like
I was thinking this. So when guys, say you got an NHL draft pick, whatever, doesn't sign his contract, plays a full couple years in the dub, does he stay with his NHL team once he goes to the NCAA? Because I know when you go to the NCAA, you don't really have a time frame that you need to sign your contract. You know what I mean? Like you dictate how long you can stay in the NCAA for. So if they played, you know what I mean? You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
If they get drafted, say they're 18, 19, and then they go to the NCAA, they're 21. Do they have until they're 24 to sign their contract, or do they become free agents?
That's a good question, dude. I honestly have no idea how that'll work, because usually it's like you can sign when you're in the WHL and then you just still go back to junior. But when you're in college, you can't be signed at all. So it's not like you can sign while you're playing junior, then go to college. Then that's a good question, dude. I don't know how they'll work it all out. I'm sure imagine how many
there's gonna be ways around
little like stupid details they need to figure out to get this whole thing going. Like there's so much involved in this process when it's considering the entire CHL and the entire NCAA. Like that is huge. So it's going to be crazy, and the trickle down effect is going to happen everywhere because of it. And who knows what happens to the B show.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. Beyond that, the NHL obviously in full swing now. It is amazing to have hockey back. Joe, who have you been really impressed with when it comes to teams, players, just guys who have really been catching your eye in a good way?
Utah. Every single player on the Utah Hockey Club. It's just been an absolute spectacle to watch. It's been so electric to watch that team play. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
they're just the biggest surprise. It just makes you think like, what if they had the support in Arizona?
I think it was more
Like
about the
they could have been.
ownership and the support.
Oh no, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the support
Sorry, I
from
get what
the
you're
owners.
saying. Owner support,
Like
not fan support. Okay.
yeah, no, they had the fan support. I think.
Yeah.
In both spots too, to be honest. But
And
like
if they had a
take the
better
owner from
location.
Utah.
Yeah,
Yeah, take the owner from Utah and move him to Phoenix. I think they're
totally.
just in the exact same spot as they are now. But no, they're are they still perfect or did they lose?
No, they've I think they've actually lost their last two now. They lost one in regulation, one in overtime. So they're 3-1-1 as far as I know.
Right. Okay. But still, they've been absolutely electric to watch. Like
Yeah.
just great hockey to watch. So really entertaining. The Oil have been brutal.
The Oil have
And
been
the Flames have been unreal.
and the Canucks have been brutal, but they just won an
And the
OT
Canucks
against
they
Florida.
just won an OT tonight, actually, so they're not horrible, but a little bit surprising to see. They keep losing in overtime, so they keep getting points, but they're just not winning.
Yeah. It could be a lot worse. Pedersen is starting to become scary though. Like I think in his I saw something. It was like his last 27 games or something, or 27 games since regular season games since signing a deal. I don't know whatever the stat was, but it was like 12 points and 0 even strength goals.
Yeah,
Like
that's
he
a
hasn't
problem.
scored an even strength goal in almost 30 games. Like that can't
That's a problem.
happen from a guy like that. So PD's a question mark, and I think everyone in Vancouver's a little scared. It's starting to actually become a concern now, whereas last year it was like, oh, contract issues, injury issues, blah, blah, blah. Now it's a concern.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I think Vancouver will turn it around. Not having Demko right now is killing them. Shelovs has not been good.
No, Shelov's not been good. Lankinen actually, I think, is solid.
Lankinen has been good. Lankinen's a great backup. He's great. Lankinen's great, but yeah, they need
Yeah, just
Demko.
can do it, man. They
Yeah,
might have jumped the gun on the one way too quick.
yeah.
Or is he still on a two-way deal?
Oh no, he's on 2A. He's on 2A.
Okay, so they can still send him down. He's just too young right now. I think he's good. I think he's gonna be good. He just they shouldn't have played him in the home opener. I'll tell you that for free.
Fair enough.
And he was he's just goalies take longer.
Oh, for
Goalies
sure.
take longer to develop. You gotta give them more time. Speaking of which, who else has been surprising for me this year? The Flames. Dustin Wolf, actually, I was watching him.
Yeah.
He had an unreal game.
Rookie of the year front runner right now.
Two sides of the coin, because they've kept Wolf in the minors for so long. They made sure that he's ready, and now that they brought him up, he's actually been playing pretty well.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Which is really good to see.
The Devils have been sick.
Yeah, you're spot on there with your prediction.
The Devils have been sick. The Rangers look dominant so far as well. Columbus has been competing. They've been playing pretty good. The Islanders look like shit, blowing leads left and right. Same record as the Canucks, but we know they're not the Canucks. Toronto's been good. Usually they start off slow, so that's surprising. Tampa, undefeated as well still. Yeah. Dallas has been good. Vegas started 3-0, and then they've dropped their last two, so that, kind of slowed down. Winnipeg also undefeated still. So, yeah, just a few of the names. I got to say, Evgeny Malkin leads the NHL in points right now. 500th goal last night. What a career. What a player. So underrated still. He's such a beast. And the Penguins, besides Tristan Jarry, look great.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's your goaltending, bro?
Good. Besides Tristan Jarry and Ryan Graves. But
I watched him get pulled 3 goals on 9 shots the other day. I think they were playing Buffalo. No, and then they came back and won an OT.
Dude, it was 3 goals on 5.
Oh.
Let me double check, but I think it was 3 goals on 5 shots. Yes.
Not good.
5 shots, two saves on 5 shots.
That's brutal.
And then Blomqvist, the rookie Joel Blomqvist. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Yeah, whatever.
He played well.
26 out of 28, and he played well in his last game too. So I actually feel pretty good about the Pens. The first Jarry scares me, but I think we'll figure it out. And yeah, I actually I feel better than I thought I would at this stage.
By the way, Connor McDavid finally scored his first goal of the year. He just scored on Nashville. That's a team.
Just
What
now?
the fuck? Yeah. Not just now, this game. They're up 3-2 and he got the third goal.
Oh, okay.
So Nashville, they've struggled, and we kind of predicted this a bit.
0-3.
Like, yeah, like they're gonna be,
Yeah.
well, they're looking like 0-4. They're down to Edmonton right now.
5 minutes left. You don't know. Is Stuart Skinner in that?
I think Pickard.
No way. Good for Pickard.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually cheering for Oilers now. Go Pickard. He actually moves like a beer league goalie, but fuck, like it's actually brutal to watch him play hockey. But he's good for him. I can't believe he's in the show.
Other team, I gotta say, Michkov's looked sick so far too.
Yeah.
Stankoven, I believe he's got 5 or 6 points. So another, like, he's leading the rookie race too, as well as that Seamus Casey on New Jersey that I mentioned to you, buddy. He had another game with a goal and an assist. He's looked thick so far on New Jersey's back end.
Really?
He's looked better than Nemec has.
Really?
Yeah, like not like I don't think he is, but he's looked better so far. Maybe not defensively either. Like Nemec's more rounded, but yeah, it's looking good. I will say my Ottawa prediction, they've been okay so far. They had that 8-7 barn burner against LA that was kind of crazy, and they beat Florida. So they haven't been bad so far either. Nobody's been like absolutely atrocious, like maybe Nashville,
besides the Oil. Like the Oil were like they're the
really.
fucking
They're going to be 2-2, dude.
Yeah, but they're the front runners to go 0-3, I guess, yeah.
That's not atrocious though. Like, and San Jose doesn't have a regulation win yet, but they've lost twice in OT. Like, they've actually played. They've been somewhat competitive. They look better than they did last year.
Jack Eichel's second in the league in points.
Yeah, he had 4 assists in his first game. Jack Eichel and Barbashev, they've been nasty together. Barbashev had another goal tonight, actually. Eichel 2 more.
Is Stone on their line too?
No, I think it's Olofsson with them. Like, you're the guy.
Oh, really?
You were all high on that one.
I like Olofsson. I think
I listened to Eichel was on Chicklets the other day, and apparently Vegas like called him and was like, "Hey, like, should we bring this guy in?" And Eichel was like, "Yeah, like, get him here. He's awesome."
Good guy. Yeah, that's good.
Anything else for the NHL here, like, buddy? Major storyline.
Ottinger and DeSmith are two of the best. That's the best goalie tandem in the league, I think.
Yeah,
they got back-to-back shutouts on different nights. I think Ottinger stopped 32-32 and DeSmith stopped 28-28 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was back-to-back shutouts for both of them, which is just unreal. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else really that we need to get in.
I checked Vegas's lines. It has Stone on their line right now with Eichel and Barbashev, but Olofsson's hurt, so I don't know where he usually is. I'm assuming it looks like Olofsson's usually on the second line because it looks like they kind of have Tanner Pearson plugged into his spot. But I don't know.
Paul Cotter with 5 goals in 7 games.
Oh, we need to talk about Paul Cotter quickly again. Oh my God, what a stud, Joe! Did I not tell you about this guy though? Like, he was a nothing burger.
Yeah,
you had never heard of him. We would have just glazed over that acquisition. I was like, Joe, I'm telling you, this guy's nasty. Like, check his highlights, and here he is, looking like he's going to win the Rocket Richard. So.
He's got 5 goals in 7 games. The only person with more goals than him is Kucherov with 6 goals in 3 games because Kucherov's just fucking unreal.
Oh my God, I didn't even see he scored again today. Cotter.
Yeah. So he's gross. He's on a scoring tear. He's is that 5 goals? So how many goals did he say he had before this year?
I think I said he had 6 in his whole career, but I don't know the actual amount. It's probably
so he's already almost doubled his goal total.
He had 13. No, okay. He had a year where he had like 13. He has more than I thought. So he's got 27 career goals, 5 so far this year. He's well on pace to smash his entire career stats.
Wow. Yeah, 27 career goals. Okay, there we go. 27 career goals, 145 games played.
Yeah.
He's 24. Vegas.
Dude, the Devils actually, it's their whole third line. Stefan Nosen also 2 goals, 4 assists in 7 games. And then I think Eric Hall is their other line mate, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points in 7 games. So their third line has been like putting up more points than a lot of the top dogs. Like they both have more points than Hughes. Mercer only has a couple. Like Palat doesn't have a point yet. That's a bit of a concern. Hopefully he steps it up. But New Jersey's looking good. I'm feeling good on that prediction. And yeah, so that's most of the NHL recapped there. I don't have anything else for that. I actually don't have anything else really at all, Joey. Do you?
I don't really think so, unless we want to talk about other sports. But I think we've been going long enough here.
No major storyline or anything we missed, is there?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
What do we?
If there is, I'm sure we'll realize it and we'll just touch on it next episode. So, as always, everyone, thank you so much. That's the end of another one. Episode 15 will be out next week. Sick interview for this episode. It's a good one. It's another staff member of a junior team, a very successful junior team. That's all I'll let on for now. But yeah, so I'm really excited for our next interview and our next episode. As always, be sure to keep listening, downloading, streaming. Check out the YouTube, like we said. Subscribe. Rate the pod on every platform. Just keep following the social media. Social media is it's growing steady. So tell your friends about the pod. Get everyone involved. Anyone who might have interest in junior hockey or just wants a different perspective on the NHL and other sports too. So thanks a ton, Joey, and that's all from me for this one.
I think that's good, man. Thank you.